What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here with another episode of Two Tree Guys. Man, I'm joined today by Justin. How do I say it?
It's Elmlinger.
Elmlinger?
Elm, like an elm tree.
Elmlinger?
Elmlinger.
Linger.
Yeah.
Elmlinger. What's that nationality?
I think it's German. Everybody struggles with it. It's really annoying.
You're like everybody. You're just like everybody else. Yeah. No, man. I appreciate you being here and, this is your first podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, first podcast.
Man, this is this podcast that you guys are listening to right now. It's Tell Your Story. You know, everybody in this world has a unique story, and your story is like no other person's story. And kind of where you're at today was from certain paths that you decided to take in your life, and I want to hear your story for that. So begin, man.
All right.
Where are you from? How'd you get,
Started off, I was born in California. My dad was Air Force, so we moved around like every 2 to 3 years. Lived everywhere from Texas, Arizona, Korea for 2 years, Alaska for a few years, and then graduated high school here in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And this is where you've been permanent?
Yeah, I've been here since 2008, so like 12, 13.
How'd you like traveling around all over?
When I was a kid, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Looking back, I think it gave me a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Like good life experience, seeing other cultures and how other people live.
You could adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for being a young kid and being able to be plucked out of, building your life and friends and, being comfortable and to be plucked out and put somewhere else,
Yeah.
you probably can adapt in any situation and anywhere you go.
It really taught me to learn to like just sit back and listen and watch people, 'cause like you get a better feel for just kind of being quiet at first. But
well, how'd you get into this industry? So
my grandfather did line clearance for like 30 years. His father did line clearance as well for a long time. I was 18, didn't have a job, wasn't really doing much. I was a cook for a little bit. The IRS shut down the place I worked at, and he gave me a job.
Wait, who gave you a job?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather gave you a job?
He was a general foreman at Asplund, and started.
How long do you work there for?
He worked there for 30 years. He retired after 30 years.
Is your grandpa still around?
Yeah, they're out in Missouri right now.
Wow, man.
I've climbed trees with him.
Dude, how cool is that?
It's pretty sweet. It's nice, like sometimes I forget about it, that I have like that background of,
let me tell you, being on this show and talking to hundreds of individuals, I haven't met anybody that climbed with their grandpa yet.
No,
I haven't. And that's special to say you climbed with your grandpa. Now, what about your dad? Did your dad climb a little bit?
He did a little bit. He was mainly Air Force. He did Air Force for like 24 years, and then but he would do side work with my grandfather. Yeah. And he spent some time in like the line clearance industry as well. Pretty much, my grandma's drug brush, ran row. Same with my mom. Like my whole family, has like had hands-on in some aspect of tree work. Man, so you got your great grandpa, your grandpa. Your dad that's worked in the industry, your whole family. I had an uncle and a cousin as well.
So what are some of the, you probably picked up all sorts of different things. Or did you feel like you advanced fast? Or was your grandpa's type of work where he only did kind of one thing all the time and you're teaching him now some cool stuff?
Yeah, so you definitely can't teach, no one teaches him anything in any aspect of. Yeah,
do you try? Like, Grandpa, check this out. You don't even try?
No, he's like, oh, you don't need all that gear. You don't need to do that. It takes too long to set up. You don't, like, well, where's your other rope at? I'm like, we put a pulley up here. It's going to be fine. And, but no, watching him work was just definitely inspiring in a lot of ways. Seeing his age doing it, he had 2 knee replacements and still would go up and help me out doing removals on his property and stuff. That's neat, man. That's neat. And your grandpa's in Missouri right now? Yeah. Does he still do some tree work? He tries. He tries? Time, yeah. He'll help out. I'll go out there. Like, I got a few removals to do out there this summer. Yeah. He'll probably run ropes and find the things, and I try and do it his way. So you got into work and started working at Asplund with him. Yeah. Being a groundie. Yep. Right. Yeah. So tell me about your path and your career in there and working with your grandpa. Now, did you work on his crew? No. So he was a general foreman for a while. I started out groundsman on a bucket truck, and honestly, I wasn't really into it. Didn't really like drag and brush. And then I actually quit and got a job at like King Supers, and then begged him for my job back. And then he hired me on again. Thank God. Hired me on again. I was working a lot in Summit County, and we started doing beetle kill mitigation.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time up there setting ropes, throw ball taglines, and then just dropping dead trees. And it slowly progressed from being the guy on the rope to being the guy on the saw. And it was like, I would say the first few years, it was strictly just felling dead beetle kill trees.
You got a lot of experience doing that.
Yeah, a decent amount.
I mean, starting off, working and doing that, picked up probably a lot of cool things from some individuals that were doing it for a long time.
Yeah, I like the progression that I took with, really getting my sawmanship down before I got into the climbing aspect of things.
So who was teaching you that?
It was all on the job, so we'd have a foreman, no one really notable.
Yeah.
And I went through, your crew would shift pretty often.
Yeah.
Did that for, like I said, a number of years. The trees out here aren't anything crazy big either.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good experience. And then started climbing. When we couldn't fell something, we would climb it, and it was all taut line hitch closed systems, no rope bridges, like 4D rings and a butt strap.
Yeah.
And a 3-strand lanyard for a long time. And
so who was the person to kind of inspire you to learn more, do more, more innovation, gear that's
should I
out
say
there?
their names?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a guy named Tom Purvis, he's out of Evergreen. He runs Mountain Family Tree Service. He was a big one.
Okay.
Big gearhead, certified arborist. He really showed us a lot. And it was just game changing. The equipment that he brought in, the knowledge that he had.
Did you even know it even existed?
No.
No idea.
Yeah, everyone was so set in their ways and didn't care about anything else. And then I see my first micro pulley and a split tail, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, you can do this? This is crazy. I don't have to break my back every day.
Now, did that start making you want to learn more?
I was still pretty slow to really get into it. So my best friend started working with us too, and he picked it up fast. He was super into it. And then it became like a competition.
Yeah.
Once he got into it, I'd really kind of put the fire under my ass. So
because he was going to pass you up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I had been doing it a few months longer than him, and just to see how into it he was, kind of got me into it.
And it was kind of probably I don't know, there's more to this. I mean, if he's liking this, is he getting something that I'm not getting and seeing?
Yeah. So then it kind of started to turn less into just a job and more into something that was fun, And
do you remember that time when you went, this is what I might do for the rest of my life? This is what I'm going to do?
It was probably 19, 20, so a year or two into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really started to feel it. So I started climbing split tail after I saw my first micro pulley and stuff, and still climbing was not always needed, so we didn't do it all the time. And I was always a little scared up there too, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to really get comfortable and get on my feet. Got my first saddle, and I became a foreman because you work your way up: groundsman, trimmer A, trimmer, so DCBA, and then you can start running crews.
Oh, cool.
So I started running crews when I was 22, 23, and that's really when I was starting to set in that I could definitely do this for a while, and it was getting good at it.
How was it with you being the foreman and being that person that had to teach and make sure you kept your crew safe and you instilled in them what other past foremen instilled in you?
Super nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It was I was always younger too, back then everyone else was way younger than me, so I'd get 35, 45-year-old guys coming in, either not knowing anything or knowing a little bit, and then they got this 22-year-old kid.
How'd you overcome that?
Just buck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to tell them what's up sometimes, tell them the chain of command, you want to be here, you gotta work for me, I'll help you out when you need it, you watch my back, it's a team sport,
Now, did they listen to that?
Some of them would, other ones we'd run off the crew, if we had to. But for the most part, I got lucky with the guys that I
Good.
had. Yeah, for sure. Good dudes. So did a lot of beetle kill stuff, started trimming a little more, and then it was about, I think I was 27, 28 when I started job planning, which was cool too. It was good management experience, getting into more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I started dealing with the customers, I don't know, like, I always am hesitant to tell people I worked for Asplin, especially for so long.
Now, why is that?
I mean, it's line clearance to the biggest line clearance company in the world. They're set in their ways. There's not a lot of training.
Yeah.
As far
Now,
as,
why do
like,
you think
really
that is?
progressing. Because you trim half a tree, right? And you have standards that are given to you by a power company.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have standards from usually a certified arborist or people who want to make a tree look good or want to do what's best for the customer or what's healthiest for the tree. So you go out there and you get your clearance, and you're not always making the best cuts. It never really looks good. I mean, it serves a purpose. People want their power, and they don't want flyers. So it's there for a reason. But
California knows that all too well.
Yeah, for sure. But not everybody understands that. So when you go out there and top their spruce out that's been ground for 20 years that them and their mother planted, and you got to be like, do you want your spruce or do you want your power? And I, for a while there, I was dealing just with customer call-ins. So I got really good at telling people no, because that's what we had to do. We couldn't really do anything for them.
You weren't too good at it when I asked you to do a podcast. You were like, no, okay.
All right. Well, I've been having opportunities to get to do something
exactly,
like this.
man.
So got decent at that. And then my buddy got certified a couple years before that. And I was just like, I need to do this. And I had the book and just didn't ever really read it. I think I read the first chapter on biology. And I was like, this book sucks.
You got to skip. I always tell people, skip the first chapter, go to chapter 2. Come back to that at the end.
And then you get into soil too, and that's terrible. But
where's your buddy now?
He's in California. He's out there.
Okay.
Doing line clearance with you guys out there. I'm pretty sure.
Cool, man. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And now tell me where you're at now and what you're doing.
So now I'm with Monster Tree Service, doing residential tree work, and it's been a really fun transition. And
how did you transition from hacking trees?
I became, so I started doing side work and hanging out with other residential guys.
Yeah.
And just seeing how they were doing things, seeing the equipment they were climbing on, the training that they were getting, everything like that was just like, I got to get out of here. Like, I'm never going to learn more or be where I want to be in my career if I continue to job plan, because I wasn't really climbing much at the time anyways, or continue to work around guys who don't push for just like the right way to do it.
I mean, does Asplin have any other revenue streams, residential or state or anything like that they go after?
They tried residential for a little bit. It didn't stick. I don't know about other states.
Yeah.
We did fire mitigation for a while, and we do some of that on Forest Service property, but it was only around transmission lines.
Gotcha.
So we'd go out and do stuff like that. And we worked a couple actual burn zones. We'd go in afterwards and cut down hazard trees all day. So no, it's pretty much all line related, power related.
Now, how's it been with Monster? How long you been with Monster, and what are you doing with Monster now?
I'm going in to my 3rd year. I launched with my franchise like day one. We started with them. Been a crew lead with them since 2020.
Awesome.
And it's
out of Denver.
Denver southeast, so like Aurora, Denver area. It's been awesome.
Well, we're excited to work with Monster, man.
Yeah.
Working with the team from the corporate office, really building a good training program for you guys to be able to set up all over the country, to have different trainings, to be able to track your trainings, and to customize it for you guys and what type of work you do at all these different franchises around the country. I think there's 112 franchises now, and you guys have about some of the largest workforce in America in tree care. As a whole, even though they're separate franchises, it's still one company, and we're excited to be a part of that and help you guys out. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm stoked that we're working with you guys. This whole 2-day event has been amazing. I told people for years, like, we need more training. We need better. You just get so stale in the industry. And if I'm the crew lead. I can teach my guys what I know, but if I'm not learning anything else, I can't teach them anything else.
Exactly.
And there's not one way to do everything.
And some of the things you learned in these last 2 days, just little things, little tweaks that you take back and you just make yourself that much better and that much better. And I'm sure there was things you probably forgot. They come back and go, oh, yeah, I do know that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's awesome. I remember so-and-so that taught me there about that. So it's good to continue to learn. And, now you're going to go back to your crew. Now, did you have your whole crew here?
I had the guy I've been training.
Okay.
He came today.
What do you think of everything?
Oh, he loved it.
Did he?
It was great, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Does he want more?
Oh yeah. He's super passionate about it already, and
Yeah.
I think he's got good fundamentals coming his way, and he's confident in the tree.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him progress.
That's cool, man. So, being in the industry as long as you have and working with the largest company in the world to the only and largest, or I don't want to say only, but the largest tree franchise and the first definitely in our industry, what kind of wisdom, tips from the top that you can give other people in our industry that may be listening to this podcast right now?
I think a big problem with the industry is people tend to look at other tree guys and either judge too harshly or just kind of like isolate them, or like, they don't give anyone the time of day, and they tend to not try and teach their skills, and everyone's the competition, and I'm not going to teach this guys my tricks or show him how to do this, or stuff like that. There's just not a lot of camaraderie, and it's just people need to be more open about everything.
Yeah.
And be humble. I mean, Trigos, man. Trigos are real. There's a lot of douchey.
You say Trigos?
Yeah, I call them
Trigos.
Trigos. Yeah.
Dude, that's the first I've heard of that.
yeah.
Did you steal that from somebody, or
No,
did you make that
I think
up?
I might have made it up. I might.
Are you patenting it right
Yeah,
now?
I think
You guys
so.
heard it first on here. Trigos.
Justin
Don't
Elmlinger,
have a Trigo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt made of that. Don't have a Trigo.
I definitely need this.
I'll put your name on there.
Sweet. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up,
And a
Justin. In the beer.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is be humble. Like I've experienced it. It's hard. It's hard when you got guys who
Yeah.
just go out there and do it. Don't pick up breaks. Don't try and teach others.
It does no good. Does no good for our industry. Does no good for your crew. Does no good for other companies. And I see it all day long. Post one picture, one video, and they will eat you alive no matter what, right or wrong, just because they want to.
Yeah.
They have Trigos.
Yep, Trigos, man. Tone it down.
Oh man, well, hey dude, I appreciate you being on the show. Appreciate you
absolutely.
coming for the 2-day classes and being a part of this. And I'm looking forward to having more trainings with you and watching your progression over the next many years.
Yeah.
Till you become a grandpa and have kids that
Right.
are in the industry too, just like you and your grandpa, kind of thing. So everybody, listen. Don't have a Trigo, all right? Don't have a frickin' Trigo, So listen to Justin here. But hey, we don't ask for money, and we don't have all these sponsors besides our non-sponsor from Voodoo Ranger beer that we bought ourselves. Thank you, Voodoo Ranger, for supplying this for all the grocery stores so we can go buy it ourselves for that. But no, man, share the show. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, share it, tag somebody in it. If somebody needed to hear this today, wherever it goes, put it out there in the universe for that. But till the next time, guys, remember to continue to elevate the standard of the industry through safety, through training, and through innovation. Thank you. Talk soon. Bye.